So here is the Samsung N140 netbook, which is Samsung's latest 10-inch netbook on the market right now. It's a direct replacement for the original NC10 netbook. And it does improve on that one in a couple of ways. You've got much better sound quality. You've got a larger touchpad here. You've got a new operating system, Windows 7 Starter, and you have the upgraded Atom N280 processor. So those are the improvements. However, the design, the battery life, the battery capacity is still the same. You still got a 5200 milliamp 6-cell battery. You still got a 1024 by 600 resolution on the matte display. So the design is very similar overall. So let's go into the pros now. First, you've got a bright matte display. So matte displays are very rare on netbooks, especially these days. And it's quite bright, gone to about, I think it's about 230 nits of brightness, so it's very good. And you shouldn't have much problems using the display outdoors. At first, if you're coming from a glossy display, you might notice that the text is not quite as sharp as on a glossy display. However, you get used to it in a couple of seconds. It's just something that you notice but you forget about. So that's really no problem, and I much prefer a glossy display over, I much prefer a matte display over any glossy display any time of the day. So very good to see a matte display like on a lot of Samsung netbooks. And you have the noise, which is extremely quiet. Very impressed with the lack of noise on the Samsung N140. Most of the time I have to put my ear right up to the keyboard to be able to hear anything. A couple of times I've wondered whether it's fanless or not, but I don't think it's fanless. You can hear the hard drive clicking. I can't hear anything right now. But when there's hard drive activity, you can hear it. It's very soft, but you will notice it. But overall, this is one of the quietest netbooks that I've used for quite some time now. Extremely quiet, very impressed with that. And next you have the touchpad with its multi-touch scrolling. You've got two-finger scrolling, or you can revert to scrolling on the sides. So we can let's go to full screen. So you've got two-finger scrolling, and it's quite responsive. No problems there. Or you can just revert to scrolling on the side. So good scrolling, good size. It's a nice texture on the touchpad, and the button is good. It's not too stiff, and it's not too noisy. It's just about right. And you have the keyboard, of course. This is a very good keyboard. As you can see, it's taken up the full width of the chassis. Not much wasted space on the sides. This is the US keyboard. The keys are large, and there's no flex on this keyboard at all. Got a large right shift key. There's really nothing I can fault with. The keyboard is excellent. Just amazing, this keyboard. I know a lot of keyboards these days the new trend is going into chiclet keyboards, but I really do find the standard keyboard to feel much better in my opinion. Okay, and the keyboard quality, the audio quality, you've got stereo speakers, and you have SRS technologies on this Samsung N140. The sound, where is the sound coming from? I think it comes from the bottom here. You can see the areas where the speakers are, and the volume is very decent. Perhaps I have sound. No, I don't have anything to play here. Sound is very decent. As I said, you've got some SRS technologies on here. True Surround XT. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but the sound is very good. Could be a tad better, but I'm very impressed with the sound. And one thing I like about Samsung netbooks is a sort of flush battery. On their previous netbooks they have flush 6L batteries, which some manufacturers don't do. Dell, HP and Acer are very bad at doing flush 6L batteries. As you can see here, it sticks out a little bit, but it's really not that bad, and it doesn't stick out at the back, at least like on the, perhaps yes, on what I just said, the Acer, HP and Dell netbooks. Even the Toshiba Mini does that, it sticks out the back, but as you can see here, it's really good. You don't notice it at all. Just adds a little bit of height to the netbook, but it's still quite easy to stick into a case. Okay, now the cons. Let's just close the netbook. Have a look at the lid here. As you can see, first, if you have a look on the inside, it's all matte, which is very, very nice. Everything is matte. But if you take a look, in the bottom as well, but if you take a look on the lid here, it's glossy and it picks up fingerprints very easily. Very, very easily. I don't know why they couldn't have made that matte, but that's the only thing I don't like. The glossy lid, which is a fingerprint magnet. And the battery life. This is actually my first Samsung netbook, and I've been hearing very good battery life figures for the Samsung netbook range. However, this one has it doesn't have a 5900 milliamp battery like most of their later netbooks. It has the 5200 milliamp battery, so I'm only getting around 5 hours of battery life. That's at about 63% brightness, and browsing with just web browsing with Wi-Fi and some YouTube, watching some YouTube videos. So 5 hours of battery life. You'll be able to get more if you lower the brightness, but on average I'm getting about 5 hours, 4.5 hours watching full screen 480p videos, but on average 5 hours, which is for a netbook these days, that's not really that much, especially when you have the EPCs, the 1005HA getting 6, 7, 8 hours of battery life. So a little disappointed with the battery life, but it's more than enough for me, I think. Next you have, so this netbook comes with Windows 7 Starter. So compared to Windows, this fact is not just for the Samsung N140, but it's for most netbooks. Windows 7 Starter, there are a few restrictions, like you can't change the wallpaper, and that you can't do an extended desktop, so you can't hook up another LCD and have two displays and drag over your windows onto that display. You can't do that with Windows 7 Starter. The next, if you have a look on the back here, again, this is like with most netbooks these days, you only have one slot for RAM. So if you want to upgrade your hard drive or Wi-Fi card, you'll have to open it up, and there might be a warranty seal inside. Last, recovery media. There is no real recovery media. You can back up your hard drive, but you can't restore it to factory condition, which is, I'm having lots of problems with that right now, but backup solution is just terrible on the Samsung N140. And last, Linux compatibility. I run Jolly Cloud on here, and it's quite good, really. This one only comes, the Wi-Fi card in here is the Broadcom card, I think, which is not compatible with Linux unless you use some kind of a wrapper for the drivers. Some may come with an Atheros card, which does work well. So I think compatibility is really good. The only thing I couldn't get working with Jolly Cloud was the brightness shortcut, but everything else worked, resume from standby and so on. So I'm out of time now, so that is my short review of the Samsung N140 netbook. Check out my article for a more detailed review. I only could go over the summary points here. So anyway, thanks for watching. Pete here from Netbooked.